The story of the scramble for Africa, 1881-1914. In the late 19th century, Africa became the stage for one of the most dramatic land grabs in world history. For centuries, Europeans had mostly clung to the coasts, trading in slaves, gold, and ivory. But beginning in 1881, everything changed. Within just a few decades, almost the entire continent was carved up by foreign powers. The build-up pre-1881. Africa was not empty or uncivilized. It was home to empires, kingdoms, and complex societies. The Zulu in southern Africa, the Ashanti in West Africa, the Buganda in East Africa, and the powerful Ethiopian Empire in the Horn. Europeans had long been interested in Africa's riches, but malaria, poor transport, and African resistance kept them largely at bay. But by the 19th century, things shifted. Industrial revolution. Factories needed raw materials like rubber, palm oil, cotton, copper, cocoa, and minerals. Technology, quinine to fight malaria, steamships to travel rivers, and the Maxim gun, 1884, gave Europeans a deadly edge. Strategic rivalry. Controlling trade routes like the Suez Canal, opened 1869, became vital. National prestige. As European powers competed, colonies became symbols of strength. The scramble began almost suddenly. 1881. France invaded and occupied Tunisia, angering Italy, which had hoped to take it. 1882, Britain occupied Egypt, partly to control the Suez Canal. This was meant to be temporary, but they stayed until 1956. Germany, newly unified under Bismarck, initially cared little about colonies. But pressure from businessmen, missionaries, and adventurers soon pushed Berlin to join the scramble. Europe was heading for clashes over territory. To avoid war, they called a meeting. The Berlin Conference, 1884-1885. In Berlin, European powers gathered to divide Africa peacefully, at least among themselves. No African leaders were invited. They agreed. Effective occupation. Claims had to be backed by real presence. Troops, administration, treaties. Trade, free commerce on the Congo and Niger rivers. Congo Free State, handed to Leopold II as his private possession. This marked the official beginning of the scramble for Africa. The Great Carve-Up, 1885-1900. Over the next 15 years, Africa was swallowed piece by piece. Britain sought a Cape to Cairo empire, linking the north and south. Took Egypt and Sudan, moved into Uganda and Kenya, consolidated South Africa and ruled Nigeria, Ghana, Gold Coast, Sierra Leone, and more. Faced conflict with the Boers in South Africa, leading to the Boer War, 1899-1902. Diamonds and gold in South Africa fueled expansion. France expanded into a massive West African empire, controlling Senegal, Mali, Niger, Chad, Ivory Coast, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Benin, and beyond. Also took Madagascar, Algeria, Morocco, Protectorate, and much of Central Africa. Their vision, a horizontal empire from the Atlantic to the Red Sea. Germany, a newcomer, but ambitious. Acquired German Southwest Africa, Namibia, Tanganyika, Tanzania, Cameroon, and Togo. Met fierce resistance, notably the Herero and Nama uprisings, 1904-1908, which Germany crushed with genocidal violence. Belgium Leopold's Congo Free State became infamous. Under forced labor for rubber and ivory, millions of Congolese died. Reports of mutilations, starvation, and massacres eventually forced international pressure. In 1908, it became the Belgian Congo under the government. Portugal held older possessions, Angola and Mozambique, plus Guinea-Bissau. Though weaker, Portugal insisted on keeping its footholds. Italy claimed Eritrea and Somalia. Tried to take Ethiopia but was defeated at Adwa, 1896, a stunning African victory. Seized Libya from the Ottoman Empire in 1911. Spain, smaller role, Spanish Sahara, Western Sahara, parts of Morocco and Equatorial Guinea. Independent Africa, Ethiopia. Menelik II modernized, bought European weapons, and decisively defeated Italy in 1896. Liberia, independent since 1847, supported by the US. African resistance. Africans did not simply accept colonization. Resistance was widespread. Ethiopia, victory at Adwa, 1896. Zulu Kingdom, fought Britain in the Anglo-Zulu War, 1879. Ashanti, resisted multiple British invasions until 1900. Sudan, the Mahdist state resisted Anglo-Egyptian forces until crushed at Omdurman, 1898. Herero and Nama resisted Germans, leading to genocide. Smaller revolts occurred in Nigeria, Kenya, Mozambique, and Algeria. Resistance was brave, but European technology usually crushed uprisings. The final partition, 1900-1914. By 1900, over 90% of Africa was under European rule. Only Ethiopia and Liberia remained independent. 1900-1914, colonial administrations consolidated power. Railways, ports, and roads were built, but designed to extract resources, not develop Africa. Borders were drawn carelessly, splitting ethnic groups and forcing rivals into single colonies. European powers imposed new laws, taxes, and forced labor systems. By 1914, on the eve of World War I, the map of Africa looked much as it would until independence movements after WA2. Consequences of the Scramble. 1. Political. African states dismantled, artificial borders created. Seeds of ethnic conflict still visible today. Economic. Economies reoriented to serve Europe. Exploitation of resources, little benefit to Africans. Violence social. Missionaries spread Christianity and European education. Indigenous cultures suppressed or reshaped. 4. Humanitarian. Millions died in Congo, Namibia, Sudan, and elsewhere. Famines caused by cash crop policies. Legacy. European languages, religions, and systems remain. Struggles for independence in the 20th century rooted in this era. The story in one line. Between 1881 and 1914, Africa went from a continent of independent states and kingdoms to being almost entirely ruled by Europe. The Berlin Conference launched the land grab, and within 30 years, Africa was redrawn on European maps, its people resisting, suffering, and surviving a profound transformation whose scars remain visible today.